It is March 27th, and I apologize for the lack of uploads. It seems that I started this surrogacy series a little too early. The fastest we could get in at the fertility clinic was March 31st, and I think I uploaded last in February. I haven't even looked. So it's been a long time, a lot of sitting around. They said that the only thing our surrogate could really do to speed up the process was to get her pap smear. Even if she got blood tests now, they would still have to be redone at their place because of their protocols. So I'm just going to talk about our initial legal paperwork, at least on my husband's side and my side. The surrogate and her husband will be represented by a different law firm because that's just how it goes. But we have few pages here. Now, our attorney said that we could not even submit this to him until it was fully filled out, and we don't have all the answers yet. So we need to have at least a couple more appointments at the fertility clinic. You'll see why. First page just has the basic intended parents information, followed by the surrogate's name, date of birth, etc. From there it goes into the fertility clinic information, source of sperm, source of eggs, number of embryos available, if they have been PGS tested, of course the fertility clinic name, address, the doctor, the anticipated date of transfer. It also asks, how many embryo transfer attempts will you try? How many embryos do you plan to transfer each time? That's something that we discussed. It depends on the price. Of course, you hope that it takes the first time, but I don't know, maybe we'll try twice and that'll be it. As far as how many embryos do you plan to transfer each time, that's a tough one to say. My husband would be thrilled to have twins, whereas I only want one, so I'm not sure about that. It asks for the surrogate's OBGYN. She already has one from her previous deliveries, the hospital, and my surrogate was very kind. She asked if we had a preference, but I told her that, you know, just use what you've used in the past. I want her to be comfortable. It then goes on to get surrogacy agency information if applicable, which is not applicable to us because, again, we're using an altruistic gestational surrogate, meaning that we did not find her through an agency. All right, there's a little section here on insurance. Has the surrogate's insurance been reviewed to see if it will cover surrogate pregnancy? If so, which company did the review? So they haven't done that yet. My husband and her husband have the same insurance because they work at the same place, but she has her own insurance through her own job. And I'm unclear if this question means that a third-party independent company needs to do the insurance review, or if she could just call up, I don't know the name of her insurance, but let's say if she could call up Anthem, and that's her insurance, if she just puts like Anthem in the thing, I don't know. Was it determined that the insurance will cover the surrogate pregnancy? If not, will you purchase a supplemental policy? And then insurance company being used to cover pregnancy. So we will explore that if we need to. This is under miscellaneous. Has the surrogate had her full medical screening done at the fertility clinic? No, not yet. Has the surrogate met with a mental health counselor for mental health evaluation? Have the parents met with a mental health counselor for a mental health evaluation? Have you all met together with a mental health counselor for a match meeting? I'm expecting that's something that the fertility clinic that they have a psychologist or someone on staff to do that. But that's not clear to me. I have my own therapist because I have obsessive compulsive disorder, but I don't think that me talking to my therapist and her saying like, yeah, it seems fine, I don't think that's what they mean. I think they mean a special type of mental health counselor that hopefully they provide. And I'm not sure if that even has to be done, but they ask. Okay, number of times surrogate has been surrogate, number of children surrogate has had on her own. Then it goes to the financial, which again in Indiana, if we filled all this out, it wouldn't hold up because the financial aspect of these surrogacy contracts here are null and void in the state of Indiana. Regardless, it does ask, are you sending payment to your surrogate? Is that direct, escrow, other, non-local travel? Will you pay more than so many miles round trip from the surrogate's home for hotels, meals, transportation, tolls, parking, rental car, mileage on personal car, lost wages, childcare? It then goes for monthly expense allowance, medication start fee, embryo transfer fee per transfer attempt, total compensation, additional compensation per fetus for multiple pregnancies, money set aside for invasive procedures per procedure, such as amniocentesis and DNC, cesarean section fee, compensation for full hysterectomy or loss of uterus, compensation for partial hysterectomy. I don't mean to laugh. I mean, this is good, but it's just like we're putting zero in all of these things. Additional loss of reproductive organ fee, ectopic pregnancy fee, miscarriage fee for pill or surgical intervention, pregnancy termination fee, fetal reduction procedure fee, maternity clothing allowance for multiple pregnancies, breast milk pumping compensation for a week, mental health counseling per session up to blank sessions, legal fee reimbursement. We actually are going to do that, but we're doing it directly, paying for their lawyer. Estate plan document reimbursement such as a living will and last will, life insurance amount parents are obtaining for the surrogate's benefit, child care per week during doctor-ordered bed rest, housekeeping per week during doctor-ordered bed rest, gross lost wages per week or per hour during doctor-ordered bed rest, up to blank weeks after vaginal miscarriage or abortion, vaginal delivery, miscarriage or abortion, up to blank weeks after C-section. Partners' gross lost wages per week or per hour for up to blank days during the journey. You notice it gives the surrogate weeks, but it only gives her husband the option for days. But that's just how it is in this country. So that's, you can see, you fill it all in. The next section, termination of pregnancy and multifetal pregnancy reduction. There are 3 questions and then a line that you can fill in for additional context. The options are will not, or may. First question, terminate a pregnancy with chromosomal or other abnormalities. Second question, reduce a twin pregnancy. Third question, reduce a pregnancy with more than 2 fetuses. It then goes to life support. If the surrogate becomes incapacitated, she shall be started on life support in order to maintain the pregnancy if she is beyond the blank week of gestation. Now, we did talk about that and we settled on 38 weeks. I used to work in newborn intensive care, and we would get babies who were delivered at 20 weeks plus 1 day, little 15-ounce things, and it can be done. They can survive, but just for brain development and especially lung development, and to reduce the risk of necrotizing enterocolitis. At first, I was like, well, how about 34 weeks? And then she said, I really don't mind, like, I'm going to be brain dead. So we settled on 38 weeks for that. The next section is guardians for the child other than a parent. I don't know if you have to fill that out legally. What if you don't want to? We have a couple of ours in the family that we have in mind, but we have not discussed that yet. The next section is vaccinations, and this is for the surrogate. Has the surrogate received the initial 2-shot series of COVID vaccine? Have they received the COVID booster vaccine? Will they receive the COVID and or boosters if the doctor recommends? Will they receive the influenza vaccine and the Tdap vaccine? That's going to be yes to everything. Sorry, anti-vaxxers, we do support vaccination. The next section, very small, birth plan. Yes or no, are you willing to be induced? She said yes. Who will be in the delivery room in order of presence? And who will be in the delivery room if there's a C-section in order of preference? So that is something that we really can't answer until we speak with the maternity ward that she's going to deliver in and see what their protocols are. Another small section, posthumous reproduction after the death of a spouse. Does parent 1, which is me, authorize parent 2? No, that's wrong. Does parent 1, my husband, authorize parent 2? You know what? Maybe it's both. Okay, let me just read the question. Does parent 1 authorize parent 2 to use genetic material after parent 1's death? Does parent 2 authorize parent 1 to use genetic material after parent 2's death? So that means any remaining frozen embryos, any remaining frozen eggs, any remaining frozen sperm, if there is. But that's it. That is the basic initial paperwork that we have to, oh, sorry, hope I didn't reveal their name. That is the basic introductory legal paperwork that we need to fill out together. And so, like I said, some of these we just can't answer. We don't know how many embryos we have. We don't know the date of embryo transfer. They're just some things that we can't answer right now. But so our first appointment with the fertility clinic is in 4 days. And then I think I can finally start uploading regularly. I really didn't think it would take this long to get an appointment. They had me on the list for if anyone cancels, we'll move you up, and that just never happened. So, and I think I mentioned this in the first video, but maybe I didn't. Maybe I've just been telling friends and family. The first appointment at this particular clinic for surrogacy situations is a virtual visit, telehealth. They said that that's just how they do it, but it is with the actual doctor rather than it just being basic patient intake, which we took care of some over the phone, and then they sent me documents for me and my husband. They said after the first virtual appointment, then we can start involving the surrogate in appointments and get her sent paperwork and everything. So I expect this appointment is going to be a basic, this is kind of how it goes, this is kind of how the usual timeline is, which I'm especially interested in because I am not known to have a fertility issue. So I'm wondering if that can kind of fast track things. Maybe I only have to take the fertility pill versus a series of shots, and maybe that will, we can just go in the next month and extract the eggs. That's the most important thing because I am 37 now as of 3 days ago, and it's just best if we get the eggs out as soon as possible. I'm not going to make any jokes about being of advanced maternal age clinically. So that's all I have for now. Gonna upload this. Keep getting distracted by this blemish right here. Hopefully I haven't been looking at it too much, not that anyone cares. And hopefully in a few days I will have a fruitful video to upload.